This video is all about growing your garden in containers. Not all of us have a big backyard to grow a garden. So some people will need some kind of container to grow their vegetables or the fruits that they want. I'm going to give you some examples of the containers that you use and also how we care for the plants in containers. Our first example is called Snowbird Citrus or Philippine lemon. And let's look at the top of this plant. Look at this, guys. We have a few flowers on the plant. So the pot that I am using for my Snowbird Citrus or Philippine lemon is a 12-inch pot. Now, the plant is getting bigger. So after this plant produces this season, this will get transferred to a bigger container. Let me show you the next one. Our next example is a 5-gallon bucket. Now this 5-gallon bucket has a tomato, and you can only put a single tomato in a 5-gallon bucket. Last week I released a video about tomato, and this is actually the tomato that I planted. It's grown so big. The next one is an 18-gallon pot, and it also contains one tomato plant. One very important consideration for container garden is watering. Evaporation takes place so quickly in container garden. So usually you have to water your plants at least once a day, depending on how hot it is and depending on what plant it is. Like for a tomato plant, you're gonna have to water your plant at least once, and I would water the plant in the morning. So this has been watered, and then the next plant has been watered. Now this one is not looking that great because this is new. A banana that is planted in a 30-gallon container. It has actually started growing a new baby banana right here. So I'm just gonna leave this in here. Banana is a tropical plant, so we can't really grow this all year round here in my area. But yeah, I grow them in pots, take them inside my house in the winter. Now, you can also use smaller containers. For example, I'm growing a lettuce. I mean, that's not bad at all. This is a free container that I got when I bought an apple tree. And then, I know it says blueberry, but that is a lettuce growing in it. Look at this beautiful lettuce, guys. And then here's another lettuce plant, also in a pot that is labeled blueberry because I bought a couple of blueberry plants. And this one is a 6 or 8-inch pot. So in a 6-inch or 8-inch pot, you can grow one lettuce. That's not bad at all. I mean, if that's what you have, then use it. Our next example is an 18-gallon tote. If you have a tote that is laying around and you're not using it, you can poke holes in the bottom of the container and put some potting soil and then grow plants in it. And so here in this 18-gallon tote, I am growing a chayote squash in the middle, and look at how tall that chayote squash is. I added a trellis to it because chayote is a climbing squash. So I put it in the middle, and then I have a few celery plants, and this celery is growing really good. Look at that. I have a few celery plants around the chayote squash. Now, another thing that you have to consider when you grow plants in container is mulching, because mulching helps keep moisture in the soil, and so it helps keep the moisture in this container because there's, as we know, a lot of evaporation going on in containers. You can grow a lot of different plants in an 18-gallon tote. Here is another example. These 18-gallon totes have potatoes growing in them. So it's deep enough to grow potatoes. Look at these beautiful potatoes that I have in here. I put 4 seed potatoes in this tote, and I put 2 seed potatoes in this tote. This is the newest project that I have. This is a 30-gallon tote that is planted with 4 orange sweet potatoes. And there is a cool thing in here, guys, because the center has a warm tower. This is a DIY warm tower, and all you have to do is put food scraps in here, and this is kind of like an in-place composting. So you're composting here, the nutrients will go into the soil, and the plants that are planted around this warm tower will get those nutrients. So whether you are using a 30-gallon tote, an 18-gallon tote, maybe a 5-bucket container, or smaller pots, you can plant different kinds of food in container, and you don't need a huge backyard to grow a garden. If you enjoyed this video, click like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll never miss a video. Thank you for watching and happy gardening!